are you and what do you do?
I'm Hayley and this is Jessie.
Hello.
Originally Button Fox, which is a custom clothing brand, but now we've started our game called Frayed Ally.
It's a deception battle royale card game where you don't know who you are until later in the game. There's a lot of strategy because there's different cards that affect the game, and all the different characters have different abilities, so different quirks, different personalities that influence the game as well.
How long has this been in development for?
I say 8 years.
Yeah, maybe 8 years total, but probably more serious in the last couple of years.
It actually began like pretty much at the start of Button Fox. Button Fox started about 10 years ago. We always had a lineup of characters, but we knew that as a business it was smart to focus on one. So Button Fox was always our mascot, so we started off with him, and in the background we've always wanted backstories of these characters, and we just thought when we were making it, we're like, oh, this is like such a cool idea for a card game. On the way to our conventions every time, 10-hour drives, we'd be chatting about, how it developed, and from then it's just completely evolved and a different beast now.
Every character has its own personality, so when I was writing the backstory, it just came really easy. So once I knew what the character was all about, then the design for the actual card game was just super easy.
We always saw it. We always wanted a TV show. That was our aim. We want the Button Fox world out there. That's the aim. But dreams,
So people wouldn't even realize when they were getting buying the Button Fox items that they were sort of buying almost like cosplays of your characters for this game.
Yeah.
Yes. It's been always sort of hidden in our clothing, our apparel we're making. All the animals had different. We have hoodies with different types of ears. Fox ears was our main one, but we had bunny ears. We had bear at some point.
We also do appliques cut out on our hoodies, and for instance, we've got a fox, we've got a wolf, we've got a raccoon, but no one knows that they are fully formed characters in our world.
What would be a dynamic or a feature or dynamic in the game that you are especially proud of developing?
I want it to be user-friendly, so even if you're not really familiar with card games, you can still win. Because you might be playing against your partner who's just a pro. You don't want to play against them because you're going to lose every time. But with this game, there's a part of luck to it. So you might just accidentally pick up a trap, and that can really influence the rest of your game.
And for me, that's great because I am such a noob at every game. So the fact that I can still win this, I love that. I think for me, the game really changed because it was really simple, and we did want it simple, but we slowly introduced things that made it slightly more complex and just made it so replayable. Every game was very different. My favorite part, the turning point, was bombs.
Yeah.
Was when we introduced them, we're like, oh my God, this makes the pig even funner. And the fact that it adds a danger to picking up, whereas it was just drawing is always a good thing.
Even though we've played it so many times, play with new people, we discover new ways that they win, new ways that they play, and it just is amazing to see.
Is this the first time that you've exhibited the game?
It's the first time we've showcased it to a larger audience. We had an anniversary event earlier in the year where we showcased it to a smaller group of our super fans, and it was sort of even earlier development, so things weren't as polished as they were now. Through that, we were able to enhance the game to what it is now, and even through this, we've got little things we've kind of taken from other players that I can put towards the final thing when we eventually release it.
Where are you off to next?
Our next event will be Auckland Armageddon, showcasing it for the final time before we think about putting it onto Kickstarter. I've already started the Kickstarter pre-launch page, but before we actually put it live so that we can get as many people, testing and playing it before we actually release it.
The plan was actually to release it now. So this was always our goal since we were trying to do PAX the last 2 years, but it just didn't pan out. We've had 2 kids now. So our life is very hectic. And so we finally committed to this. PAX has been our plan for release since the start. We're we can do it at PAX, it's gonna be great. So it was a bit disappointing to be have to give that up. But we just decided we just weren't ready, and we didn't want to, after 8 years, force it into production when we still felt we had improvements to make.
I found myself taking stuff away that I didn't want to, just to hit the deadline. I thought, no, I want to make sure it's to the point that I'm happy with completely. And I think this extra time is going to get me into the art I need to get done, some of the little simple things that is going to really showcase what the game's all about.
We've even just in this small amount of time, had some feedback from people that have had successful Kickstarters and then been oh, that's amazing. So hopefully there'll be some really fun, unique stuff that we can offer you guys, especially in our background in custom clothing.
What is the main goal for the Kickstarter? What are you sort of allocating everything for?
It's for the base game, just to get the sort of essentials done. It's also to help us develop it, to enhance the game even more, more art. They have an art booklet, or have improved the tokens, improved the card quality.
Also parts of the funding, so neither of us are artists. So we have an amazing artist called Hurricane who has done all of the artwork for us. So part of the funds are going to paying them. And we've also got another artist that we've had input on, and they're like part of the funds is going to pay, because they've both amazingly agreed to be paid. After the Kickstarter, they've obviously got confidence that it's going to be successful.
We've only got limited funds, so this will let us actually do the things we want to do.
So in other words, support your small game creators. These guys have been around the convention scene. When did you guys come into the OzCon scene?
13.
Same year as me. Like Emma, who's on camera at the moment, came in around about 2014, 15. What are you looking forward to most in the production pipeline?
Firstly, seeing the actual copy that was supposed to arrive this week and hasn't.
Oh.
So we were supposed to have everything. We were supposed to have the proper game. We were supposed to have tokens, the metal tokens that are going to be a stretch goal.
So all the stuff we have is just what we've made ourselves,
Yeah.
except for the acrylic
Oh, yeah, we
standees.
got-
Wait, so everything on the table's handmade and printed
And
and...
obviously, except for the pins and stuff we
Yeah.
can't make.
So
But like-
we were up
the
till
box,
2 a.m. making these the night
tokens.
before packs.
Really?
Yes, because we found out it wasn't coming in. So we're like, okay, I want to see the deluxe version, because the deluxe version's going to have lots of shinies. I think this has been a dream. Like coming here and being able to show random people our game and that they're actually enjoying it. Like this is probably one of the highlights for me. I feel like Jesse, although he can have a certain amount of confidence in what he's done, he's a perfectionist, and he's always had doubt that like, well, what if people don't like it? Like, what if I just like it? What if people are lying to us that they like it? And then I think this has been an eye-opening experience for him, that he's realized that it's good.
Yeah, exactly. Because all you've got to go by is we play test with our friends and family and stuff, and they might be just telling you like what you want to hear. Whereas when you're testing it with random people and you see the reactions to it, that's what makes me happy to actually get to where we are now.
It's an honest reaction, which is good. We know where to find Button Fox. Where do we find Frayed Ally?
So we've kind of almost merged the two together. We've got an Instagram for Frayed Ally, which is Frayed_Ally. You can also find the same sort of content on our Button Fox page. Our socials are BTN FOX Fox.
I feel like we're in a transition phase and we are uncertain. I would like to keep them separate as like an entity of Button Fox that is still handmade creations, and this is an extension of that world, presenting all of the characters to our fans. But obviously we're starting from scratch with Frayed Ally, so it's like a little scary to...
Because a lot of the game as well, if you've been a fan for like the last 10 years we've been making stuff, there's like Easter eggs within the art even that you can see. Like we've made mugs, little Fox mugs, we've made the plush toy, which was our first Kickstarter, and that sort of stuff can be hidden in the background of the artwork we're going to be releasing in the game. So if you're a fan, you'll hopefully appreciate that sort of stuff.
Yeah.